These map view diagrams provided by the EPA illustrate the difference between a centralized and a decentralized wastewater system. The image on the left shows how each house has a pipe leading to a centralized sewage treatment plant represented by the teal box. The image on the right shows how densely populated areas have sewage treatment plants, but less densely populated areas do not. These homes have an on-site wastewater treatment plant, commonly known as a septic system. If you live somewhere that looks like this, then your wastewater is definitely centralized and travels to a sewer treatment plant. This is a cross-sectional diagram showing one home in a centralized wastewater system. Once water leaves the home, it travels underground into a sewer main. Many other homes are connected to this sewer main. The water then travels to a centralized wet well. As it accumulates, the water pump turns on and moves the water all the way till it reaches the sewer treatment plant. Sometimes this can be up for miles of piping before it reaches the centralized sewer treatment plant. When it arrives, it is screened for the large particles, and then the wastewater passes through into a settling basin, where any of the solids will settle at the bottom. The clear water goes through to a secondary wastewater basin. At this point, microbes in an aerated environment help to clean the water. Before it is discharged, it passes through a tertiary treatment and then is disinfected. After it's disinfected, it goes into a surface water resource and is then passed along downstream. If you live in an environment that looks like this, you probably have an on-site wastewater system. This is a cross-sectional diagram of one home in a decentralized wastewater system. The first component that we will look at is our fresh water resource. This water is typically drawn from a well. The water is pumped up from the ground and distributed to the household, where each and every faucet, toilet, or washing machine receives its water. Once the water is used, it becomes a wastewater source. All water going down a drain is considered a wastewater source. Once it leaves the drain, they all lead to one pipe where it leaves the house and enters the septic system. At first, we enter pre-treatment. This pre-treatment happens in a septic tank. The first few days are spent here in this enclosed environment where bacteria begins to break down the wastewater. Upon leaving the septic tank, the effluent enters the distribution box, commonly referred to as the D box. The function of the D box is to help control dosing into the drain field. After leaving the distribution box, the effluent enters the drain field. There are two pertinent functions of the drain field. The first function is good dispersal. This happens through the distribution of wastewater in corrugated pipes and into a gravel trench. Next is good treatment. This treatment takes place in the soil itself. As the water travels through the soil, microbes further clean the water.